Are we doing this ish?
Yeah, let's do it.
How many of these did I win? Huh? Don't tell me.
I'll tell you until we get there.
Okay.
Welcome to Drafted. I'm your host, Daniel Prentice, and as always, I am joined by my dear friend and co-host, Preston Thompson. Preston, how are you doing this evening, and what are you drinking, my friend?
Oh, Dan, I'm good. Can you believe another year done in the books?
Didn't sound so good the way you said that.
No, I'm super sentimental. We've been friends for a whole 2 years, and this in our 4th year of doing the show.
Yeah.
And I think it's just quite an accomplishment for us.
It is nice that, against all odds, we did become friends over the course of making this show, because, boy, we didn't start out that way, did we?
No. Mortal sworn enemies. First time I saw you, you said, "Nice to meet you," went to shake your hand, there was a knife in it.
Yeah.
That was a tumultuous way to begin the relationship.
Yeah. And then somehow we thought that it was a good idea for the two of us to make a podcast. And lo and behold, I guess it was a good idea. People still listen.
If we recorded this show in person, how many walkouts would there have been?
Between you and me?
Yeah. I would have walked out 3 or 4 separate times.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think this is a difference between you and me. I don't take the things people say as to heart as you do, I think.
I'm a sincere boy.
Yeah, well, I am too, honestly, but I in most contexts, but I am able to just kind of see the show for what it is, which is, just silliness, and not take it very seriously. But yeah, and to be in fairness, I do, for whatever reason, think that you get like the brunt end of things a lot. People
our guests
on the show, the guests, the listeners, they really come for you, and they don't come for me as much.
They quickly realize that my self-worth is tied to my performance on this program, and they want to have fun with that. And you know what? It's a good time. If I can be of that service to them and their lives, then sure. That's the stone that they pass over on their journey, So I'm glad I could be that for them.
Yeah, but you know what? I think we did pretty good this season. I think we did all right in terms of drafting. We'll get to that in a little bit. You didn't say what you're drinking tonight. Are you drinking anything tonight?
I am drinking a Atlanta United cider in honor of potentially, I hope, oh my God, fingers and toes crossed, seeing Lionel Messi play next weekend in my hometown of Atlanta, which is not something I thought would ever happen.
Why would he not play? Or would you just not be able to?
He's playing a ton of games right now, and they may rest him. That's like the one they have circled on the calendar as like, this is the one that might be skipped. And it's on turf, which he historically doesn't like. So there could be a problem here, but I've already bought the tickets. I bought them like 6 months ago, so bottoms up.
You're committed at this point.
I'm committed.
Okay. Well, good luck. It would be pretty cool to see Messi, I think, in person. I'm sure he'll demolish Atlanta. I don't know how you'll feel about that. That's what he's
honestly,
doing to every other team he plays.
The nightmare scenario is he doesn't play and we still lose. But if he plays in like 2 goals and 1 assist, then I'm not going to feel bad that I saw that, right? That's going to feel pretty cool. Because this is not particularly our year anyways. Next year is the real big one, so we'll see.
Oh, why is next year the big one?
We've got a lot of signings that have like just come on and they're still getting used to the system, and we're a little too far down the table to get a favorable seeding, I think.
Oh, goodness. What happened when we saw the game together? They were like top of the table, I thought.
Yeah, with like the league MVP. They didn't feel your support anymore after that, and they fell off.
Well,
that's on you.
Well, that's my bad, I guess. I do apologize, Atlanta United fans. I can't remember the name of my beer. I poured it into a glass. I'm drinking it from a Save the Hooch Sweetwater glass, which I feel like you would appreciate.
I do appreciate that. I'm right near the Hooch.
It's the same beer that the last time I had a beer on the show. It's the same beer.
So go back, listener.
Go back and listen to like episode 11 or something. 'Cause I know the last episode that we did, I was drinking clear. I was gonna say clear water, but what's the
clear water?
No,
Everclear.
No. The water drinks, not Truly. White Claw.
White Claw. Okay.
White Claw, yeah. Clearwater is a town in Florida. So
yes, it is.
Anywho, I want to apologize to the listeners. I feel like we've been real just inconsistent with our episodes to kind of conclude the season here. It's been 3 weeks since you've heard from us, and now we're just jumping straight to a season conclusion. It got busy. You know, I was out of town for like 2 weeks total of September, or of August rather, into September. Preston was out of town once or twice. So I this is our plan going forward. We'll still do our holiday specials. That's the plan. I already have a guest lined up for our October one. We'll just have to think of a fourth Halloween special to do. I don't know how the hell we're going to do that.
Yeah, but, the holiday specials are really running dry while you mentioned it. So
they're getting thin. We might have to skip fall.
Discord people, yeah, please help.
We might just have to go for Halloween and Christmas this year. I don't know. But going forward next season, season 5, I think our plan will be to do every other week, rather than doing an episode every week. That way, we get 2 weeks to record one episode. I think that'll be much more doable. Give us more time to get our guests on, because, the nature of our show mostly is usually like, hey, do you want to come on drafted this weekend? When I ask on Friday. And then people, because, they aren't, people are back to their post-COVID lives. Like, a lot of times people are busy, with that little notice. So, yeah, I think that'll be better. Another announcement to make is that we have new merch up on the merch shop, because with Labor Day weekend is the unofficial ending of summer, so we took down all of our Summer of Drafted Love stuff. Thanks to everyone who got some of that, and now we've got some fall merch up there, which I think looks really nice. And then we also filled out the Dads Are Life's Greatest Sidekick lineup a little bit more. There's like multiple items that have that on there instead of just the shirt that we had before. So, yeah, check out the merch. That's a great way to support the show. And Patreon people, you have a discount code for 15% off, so check for that. And then if you're in the Discord, you have a we'll say a week from the release of this episode. So when I posted, I said a week, but we'll say a week from the release of this episode, because a lot of y'all don't check every message in the Discord. If you're in the Discord, you get a code for 10% off. So it's a good time to get your drafted merch, and then the fall line will be up until Black Friday. And Black Friday we will get our winter stuff up for everyone's Christmas shopping. So get that fall drafted merch in while it's still there. And again, thanks to everyone who has bought drafted merch since we switched to the new shop. I think the quality of stuff is much, much better. Actually, Preston, one guy that I saw when I was home for the Labor Day weekend had my friend Cody, who listens, I think, every episode. Shout out Cody. Had a March Draftness shirt. He was like one of 2 people to get a March Draftness shirt, and it just looked terrible. I mean, basically everything that said March Draftness on it, and the back bracket just was all washed out. It's been since March, so I'm glad that we switched. We're no longer on Teespring, which just was kind of a nightmare as far as shipping times and turns out product quality as well. But everything I've gotten, everything I've seen from Fourth Wall, which is where we are now, is really, really, I won't say top of the line quality, but it seems to be much better.
Yeah, I am actually just now going to purchase my Head Dumb Heart Smart Can't Lose long sleeve, which I'm realizing, is it weird to wear a shirt of a quote that you said?
It sounds like something Zlatan Ibrahimovic would do.
That's not okay. I can do that. Me and Zlatan.
I think it's
basically the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So I think it's fine. And people seeing the shirt won't know. Most people probably won't know. They'll just oh, that's a funny shirt, and then want to buy it probably.
I was wearing one of our hats out and about with some strangers at Pickup Ultimate Frisbee. And they asked, what is your hat about? Which is why we have this.
Yep.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for, baby. And I gotta be honest, I blew it.
No!
I blew the pitch.
What do you mean you blew it?
I was like, it's a show. And they're like, what kind of show? And I'm like, A podcast.
What, are you,
like, what kind of podcast?
What are you talking
mine?
about?
And they're like, yours? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, you have a podcast? I'm like, sometimes.
Preston.
I just like
what
totally
happened?
joked.
What happened, man? What went wrong? Let's
review
the film. What went wrong here?
Oh my god. I haven't been asked the question very often. So with my previous job, in full disclosure, I wanted as little people to know about this show as possible. The new one I think is like much more fine, and I shouldn't get fired for anything, but who knows? I've said some weird things on this show. So I'm just not used to like going out and really pushing it like I should. And you know what? I'm going to make a commitment to you. I'm seeing them again, that group again on Saturday, I think. I will wear cotton to my cotton shirt to play Frisbee.
This is your punishment.
Just so I can be asked about it and promote.
Well, they're not going to ask you about it again because you're so weird about it the first time. They're like, all right, I guess we're not going to bring that up.
I was really weird about it. It was like they were asking about something they shouldn't have.
Yeah, that's like...
Which probably made them feel really dumb because I'm wearing
this
thing.
This has been a thing for pretty much the history of the show. My whole family listens to this podcast. I don't think a single person on Preston's family has listened to a single episode of the show. Other than Lauren.
Yeah, and my mother listens to the ones that Lauren is on.
Oh, does she? Okay.
So,
well, that's nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Your parents haven't gotten any merch or anything like that, right?
Nope. My dad refuses to buy a Dad's Her Life's Greatest Sidekick shirt.
You got to get him one for Father's Day.
I'll get him one for Christmas.
Or Christmas, yeah.
And I'll get my mom a Head Dumb Heart Smart Can't Lose shirt, and she'll be very confused.
Yeah. My mom has wanted to get my dad one. But my dad exclusively wears T-shirts that have pockets on the, like have a breast pocket, and with I can't get those. Like they're not an option for either our old merch store or with Fourth Wall. But my hope is that maybe she'll get him like a, we have like a coffee mug with it on there now, so we've got other options,
I do wear the 5-panel incredibly often.
Yeah, me too. I don't wear it to like when I'm out getting sweaty because I don't want to ruin it. And it's like it is a cotton.
Oh, mine's
a cotton.
It's gone.
I just feel like those cotton hats don't take sweat very well. So I just wear it, as a fashion piece when I'm streaming or doing the podcast sometimes, or if I go out.
And Lauren of course has a light blue Summer of Love draft can hat that is adorable.
Oh yeah, and
would highly recommend to everybody. It looks so good.
Yeah, those turned out real cute. All right, let's not make the whole episode though about our merch because people tune out real quick. Let's take a look, Preston. Let's take a look back at the season that was season 4. Isn't it crazy? This is the 4th season of the show, and we're done with it now.
I sort of don't believe it.
Yeah, where does the time go?
Is it time to have that conversation about whether or not we come back for season 5?
Oh, God. We already announced we're doing every other week next season.
It's true.
Maybe season 5 will be where we call it quits, but we're committed to season 5 at least. I still have some drafts I want to do. I still have some ideas for drafts I want to do. So we at least got to do those. I have some too. Our first episode this season. Do you even remember what it was, Preston?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
It was a really good one, I think. It was the casting Knives Out 3 with John Wolfe.
This is not counting our brackets, right?
Correct. Yeah, there's not really much to review there. So we did 4 brackets this year.
Well, we came to the correct outcomes.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Just taking a look back at the drafts. And here were the teams, all right? Preston had Jane Fonda, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Kay... God damn it. I remember I got flack for how I said this last time. Yep. Is it Kay Hui Kwan?
Sure.
God damn it.
You told me you were going to announce these, so I didn't look it up.
And then you wrote on here, you just wrote Steve Harrington, which I'm pretty sure, I don't think that's the actor's name. That's his character in...
No. Yeah.
In Stranger Things. But you get the idea. No one knows his real name.
That's going to be the director's note he gets, is you are Steve Harrington in this.
I had Pedro Pascal, Adam Driver, Margot Robbie. Boy, what a moment team I ended up having. This was before Barbie came out. Florence Pugh, Keanu Reeves, and Kieran Culkin. And then John had Aubrey Plaza, Jenna Ortega, Tom Holland, Meryl Streep, Oscar Isaac, and Brendan Fraser. And then the poll here, I think this might have received the most responses of any of our polls all season long. We had kind of mixed response to us using the Google Forms. It started off strong and then really faded of getting people to respond to them. But anyway, I had 45% of the vote. John had 35%, and Preston had 20%. So I won that one. I won the vote from 20 responses.
I think that feels right. You did have a very much of the moment team.
Yeah,
So
I mean that was early April, so I believe it was like right after, or maybe even during. Still, it probably was still during The Last of Us, but maybe like right after it finished. But yeah, I mean he was. Pedro Pascal was very much like the guy. And now Margot Robbie, I mean, we were talking before we started recording, Preston, that I just saw the Barbie movie. It's fantastic. Go see it. I think I'm going to see it a second time in theaters. I enjoyed it so much. So even more thrilled to have Margot Robbie on my team now for that draft. I smashed that one. I think I felt that at the time. And looking back in hindsight now, I still feel that way.
Yeah, I think you're right. Florence Pugh feels a little out of place, but that might be the only change I would make.
For me?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like she matches the vibe of everybody else.
I think I had, if I recall, I believe that was like the point of her was that she was like going to be the good one. So like her being out of place was...
what do you call it? The SNL person, the straight man or straight woman in this case? Yeah. I
have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, well, moving on.
I haven't even watched an SNL skit. Like there was like I've never been a big SNL watcher, but there was a time where I would watch, like I would have the clips or whatever suggested to me in my YouTube feed, and that doesn't happen anymore. So no. I don't watch them. But yeah, so I took first place in the first draft of the season. John took second. Preston took third. That's still a bronze medal, though, Preston. Let's not forget.
Yep. I'm going to rack up a lot of those.
Next draft, we had Lindsay Sue on to draft our sporting events bucket list. And Preston, you and I tied to win this one. 37.5% of the vote for each of us. 25% of the vote for Sue. These were the teams here. I probably should have read this before I read the results. Preston had the Winter Olympics, Men's March Madness, the Women's World Cup, the Kentucky Derby, the Monaco Grand Prix, and a heavyweight fight at MSG. I had the Men's World Cup, the Masters, Wimbledon, the Super Bowl, Women's March Madness, and the College World Series. And Sue had the Summer Olympics, WNBA Finals, the Iron Bowl, the X Games, Roller Derby Nationals, and the Stanley Cup.
Help me remember why the World Series wasn't taken?
I think because we just decided that baseball is a dying, boring sport.
Okay.
Also is like
that's a pretty glaring omission.
Yeah, I mean, I think here, let me go back. If I were Sue, I probably would have taken that over like the roller derby nationals. But Sue clearly drafted with their heart there, rather than trying to placate voters, which I think
head dumb, heart smart.
Yeah, which I think is fair. But yeah, also probably over the Stanley Cup. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there are gonna be a lot of people that listen to draft that are gonna be like baseball diehards. Bless you. Are you okay?
Get to the mute button fast.
That was the most.
I've been recording podcasts for like 6 years, and I couldn't get to the mute button fast.
Yeah, I don't. You
know why though? It's because I was voting in this poll because I forgot to at the time, so I just voted to put myself over the top.
Oh, so okay, there you go. Preston wins.
Yep.
Preston wins. Let me
definitely
check.
not rigged.
Let me check
definitely
the response. Yep, yeah, boy. This is a last second vote out of nowhere. Preston all of a sudden has 41.8%
Who could it be?
of the vote. I have 35.3 and Sue has 23.5. So there you go. Preston wins.
Wow. Thanks to everybody who voted for me.
But most of all yourself. That is 2 for 2 for the Drafted Boys when he drafts here through our first 2 drafts of the season.
I do think that is how we should judge our competency, is us versus the field, like the two of us versus all of the guests.
Yeah.
Because even though I think we outnumber them the guests are just more beloved.
Do you think we outnumber them?
I think we do.
But you're not sure. You're not certain.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so you clearly didn't see the drafted Discord today, then.
I did. I wasn't going to bring it up because it's like a sort of a spoiler, I think.
Yeah, it is a bit of a spoiler. Okay, we'll save it then. We'll save it for the end. Okay. So yeah, Preston won the best bucket list, and I took silver. We took first and second there. Next, we had, and Preston might need to cast a vote for this one as well because we've got another tie here atop the responses. This was the best school lunch draft with Brit. Preston had Uncrustables, Easy Mac, Clementines, a Nachos Lunchable, Yoo-Hoo, and an ice cream cup. I still don't know how the ice cream cup is making it to lunchtime, but I had Pringles, string cheese, a peach cup, chocolate pudding, a Capri Sun, and a peanut butter banana sandwich. Britt had a pizza Lunchable, an Ecto Cooler High C juice box, 3D Doritos, Dunkaroos, Shark Bites, and cheese balls.
So ridiculous. Such a ridiculous combination of food.
And the vote was split 40-40 with me and Britt, and then Preston had 20% of the vote. So, Preston, if you've not voted
am I casting the tiebreaker here?
Yeah, you could pass a tiebreaker between me and Britt. Or you could cast as a very selfish, meaningless pity vote for yourself here.
Interesting.
This is pretty exciting. We've never had live voting on the show before. Well, apart from our own at the end of the third secondary draft.
The peanut butter and banana sandwich in the last round feels very good. Because presumably if somebody had taken an actual PB&J, now I got Uncrustables, which I think are arguably better than an actual PB&J.
Okay.
But it's good value for you at the end. And Capri Sun. Who doesn't love a Capri Sun?
I just had
I think I'm gonna
Capri
go
Sun
with you.
recently. They're still good.
They're still good. And you can fold them up when they're done and turn them into a little fake cell phone. It's great.
It's true. You can do a lot of things with them. You could turn them into a weapon. They're kind of sharp when you fold them up like that. All right. Well, I don't know where this is coming from, but again, we've had a very last-minute vote here cast for me, so I take the edge over Britt.
Who is doing this?
I don't know. Where's the stop the count, folks? It's like we're in Maricopa County all over again.
Yep. We're getting a live tally coming in.
All right, so that's 3 for 3. 3 for 3, and listen, even if you don't count Preston's last-second vote here, I at least tied for first.
Yep.
So. We're doing quite well. I should have looked back and seen what the record is for most drafts that you and I have won. Because
I can't imagine.
We definitely have a losing record.
Yes, absolutely.
Even us combined. And yeah, you touched on it a little bit. yes, we outnumber. It's a 2-to-1 odds. That either of us would win. But yeah, one, people like the guests more, which who can blame them? And two, I think a lot of our guests take a lot more time to prepare than we do. At least for me. Now, when we first
they want to be good on air.
Yeah, they do, and they want to win. And when we first started this, I really took a lot of time, and first season, I really did a lot of prep work. Season 4, I pretty much am making a list while I'm waiting for you two to join the call, and that's pretty much the extent of my prep most of the time. So, for me, it's more about just all right, well, we're doing the podcast again. It's going to be a fun couple hours, but I'm not really putting in a whole lot of extracurricular work at this point in my drafted career. But maybe that's the ticket.
So that's concerning.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I'm in the gym every day.
You know what the problem is, Preston? You say brain dumb, heart smart, but you don't live it. I live it.
Wow, Dan. Here's the thing. We should have some sort of bet to do with Drafted at some point. And the loser, or maybe the winner, depending on how you look at it, gets head dumb, heart smart tattooed on their body somewhere.
I do not agree to that unless it's something that unless it's guaranteed that you'll lose.
Well, we could make it a lifetime bet, which is that who wins a championship next, the Florida State Seminoles or the Indianapolis Colts?
Oh, I would take that bet in a heartbeat.
I'm I'm now regretting having said that out loud. Let me think about it, because I think it could be a while.
I mean, the Knowles might win one this year.
It's certainly feasible, so maybe I should wait a little bit.
Yeah, I won't walk you into that one. All right, episode 4. Or not episode, draft 4. This is actually like episode 8, because we did do the 4 brackets. But draft number 4, we had 80s movies to watch on a plane with Jose, which was a very fun episode. That was a favorite of my mother's. And son of a bitch, how does this keep happening? We have another tie. These are the lists. So Preston had Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, E.T., and Batman. I had Terminator, The Princess Bride, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Blade Runner, Karate Kid, and My Neighbor Totoro. And Jose had Die Hard, Airplane, Top Gun, When Harry Met Sally, Roadhouse, and RoboCop. And as it stands, unless we get a last-second vote here, stay in line. You know, the polls are closed, but stay in line. If you're in line, they have to count your vote. As it stands, we have a tie between myself and Jose, and Preston has 27.3% of the vote. Jose and I tied at 36.7%. So very close. Like, I mean, it's just, 4 votes for me and Jose and 3 for Preston. So if he wanted to, and he's not voted for this poll yet, he could make it a 3-way tie where we all win.
I have already voted for this, which is extra disappointing because I felt like I crushed this one. I still feel like you reading the teams right now, I should have won. So I'm disappointed.
You know
but
why
I, of course, can't break the tie here. Why is that?
You know why you didn't win this one? Because you didn't tell those guys at Ultimate about the podcast.
It's true.
You gotta get your allies to listen to the show.
I know. I don't have any friends.
That's not true. You have a lot. I feel like you have more friends than I do. You have a lot of friends.
No, that's Facebook friends maybe, but no.
I don't know. I'm always hearing about the things you do with your friends, and I'm like, I haven't seen anyone in person in weeks. Listen, it's a strong team. I mean, Ferris Bueller and Empire is a great start. Back to the Future isn't as great for me, but obviously it's an absolute classic. Ghostbusters as well. The E.T. and Batman close, I think, was not super strong.
Not super strong?
What
the hell are you talking about?
I don't think people like that Batman film.
Oh my god. Okay.
And E.T., I think E.T.'s a little dated. I don't think people our age love E.T. like that. Like our parents like E.T. You know what I mean?
Well, our parents are the only ones that can afford to be on a plane. So I guess I was hoping that they would chime in a little bit.
Yeah, maybe you're into something.
Who did your mother vote for?
I don't think my mom votes. She just texts me her thoughts when she listens. But she also listens way after the fact, and then she just tells me, she makes some comment about how how Preston's so funny and his opinions are so quaint. You know
what I tell people like that, Dan? If you know what you know, opinions are quaint. You know what I tell people like that? If you know what you know and you choose not to vote, you're just as bad as the other guys.
Yep.
Get out there, folks.
So basically what you're saying is my mom is someone who voted for...
Gary Johnson.
Gary Johnson, yeah. Or who is the Green Party candidate? In
Liz.
The Clinton-Trump election.
Jill Stein?
Jill Stein, yeah.
Yeah.
You're calling my mom a Jill Stein voter right now. And listen, I support you.
I am calling her that.
I completely agree.
Called out. I'm expecting to get a text message somehow before this episode's even live. We're gonna get a text message. So
the thing about my parents is that they don't listen regularly. They save it up for when they have a long road trip, and then they'll listen to a bunch. So it might be 6 months before they listen to this, but no, I agree. We even changed the format. On the Twitter polls, there you had to listen to the show or vote within a week. Mm-hmm. The Google forms were up all season.
Yeah.
So no excuses. No excuses for not getting your votes in, folks. But I think most people just like listening to the show. I don't think most people care that much about who won.
I think listening to the show might even be a stretch. I don't know.
That's probably true. That's probably true. All right, what was next? Oh boy. Okay, I oh no. Okay, we have an outright winner here. We have a tie for second place, but we do have an outright winner. for this one. This one, I want to send out an apology.
Oh.
A specific apology to a specific person this episode. We really fucked someone over with this episode.
Oh, that's right. We totally did. Oh.
And listen, I think this is a fantastic episode. I think if I had to pick one episode that was our best this season, or at least my favorite, I honestly think it would probably be this one. I think we had a lot of great, moments, very funny kind of little bits and one-liners in there, and just some classic moments that I think will go down as like classic drafted bits. So absolutely no regrets in the person that we did bring on, which was friggin' nerd James. He did a fantastic job. He was a great guest. But we do owe an apology to Patrick Segamiller because like 2 years ago or something, he dibsed being the guest for any Lord of the Rings episode we did. And not only is that the case, but like we did Lord of the Rings soccer, and the three of us are in a fucking group text about soccer. Like he's a huge soccer person. This not only did he dibs Lord of the Rings, but it was like a tailor-made episode for Pat.
I cannot think of anybody in my life who is more qualified than I am to do this particular subject, Lord of the Rings characters as soccer players, except for Pat.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we subconsciously didn't bring him on. We thought we'd just
we knew we'd get smoked. Yeah, maybe. And when we both, I think really what it was like is like, we really want to get James on for a show, and then a lot of times like our guests come before the idea for the draft, so we kind of just had James locked in, and then this was Preston's brainchild of a draft, and we both agreed that James would be a good person for this. He loves Lord of the Rings and he likes sports, so we're like, yeah, and we just didn't think about it, and then after the episode came out, Pat texted us in that same group text where we always text about soccer. And I need to pull up exactly what he said. Okay, here it is. So we get this text from Pat Monday, June 19th, which I guess was must have been the Monday after the show came out. He said, "Flying back from Windmill today, which is an ultimate tournament for those who don't know, and so excited to listen to the new draft." Pat is also like a listener to us, like when he travels. He like saves episodes for when he flies, because I think he doesn't love flying so much. See that it's Lord of the Rings themed and feel a little sad I didn't get the call for that one. And then saw it was Lord of the Rings and soccer. And I couldn't even get through the text. I couldn't even get through it. See it's Lord of the Rings themed and feel a little sad I didn't get the call for that one. Then saw that it was Lord of the Rings and soccer and almost crashed the plane. This betrayal knows no bounds. And of course I made the Shadowfax Adama connections. Haha. That was... Which Shadowfax the horse was drafted, we were trying to figure out what real-life soccer player was most like Shadowfax.
It's Adama Traore. It's the correct answer. The only answer.
Yeah, so that was tough. That might have been the lowest moment in the history of us doing the show. Just how badly we let Pat down.
It's true. But the problem, we can't have him on for every episode,
No. Well, maybe, we probably could. It probably would be pretty good. But we like to get all of our friends on,
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel pretty bad about that. I will join in on Dan's apology.
We got the ball. But James was awesome. Yes. A big part of the reason that show was, in my opinion, the best of the season was because James was so good and had such ridiculous picks, which was phenomenal. That is what the show is all about. Okay, it's not about people coming in and crushing the fucking draft. Maybe Preston, us winning all the drafts this year is actually a sign that we're slipping. Oh, we're losing it. Okay,
we're losing our chaotic flair.
It's not fucking fun if we win every goddamn draft. What's fun is when you draft the Mountain as your vice president. You know what I mean? We need to get back to our roots. And James really helped us do that. These are the teams. Preston had Sam Gamgee. It's Gamgee, right? Not Gamgee?
Yes.
Gamgee? Yes. As his coach. Legolas up front, Arwen in midfield, the Witch King and Sauron as his defenders, and Saruman as his goalkeeper. I had Galadriel as my coach, Aragorn up front, Eowyn in midfield, Lurtz, the the chief Uruk-hai or something, the leader of the Uruk-hai, and Faramir as my defenders, and then Gandalf as my keeper. James had Éomer as his coach, Boromir, Haldir, and Shadowfax all as forwards. The Balrog as all of his defense, and then Shelob as his goalkeeper. So that was a fun one. Very close.
These are my favorite graphics I have ever put
Yeah.
the show,
You did a great job with the graphics. If you've not seen the graphics, go see the graphics. Preston made like full on like soccer pitch positioned lineups. Yeah.
Well, and I tried to strategically position everybody accordingly based on what I assumed their footedness to be.
Yeah,
left
sure.
or right.
Shadowfax's definitely a right footer, right?
And the passing angles. Balrog, of course, is bigger than everybody else.
There's a single person who's given me shit about the Balrog pick. And he's like, you get all the Balrogs? No, he gets the one specific Balrog. Who knows the fucking name of the Balrog?
No, what?
You know,
no. It's there. He has a name, but he is known as a Balrog, and probably the last one that will ever.
Yeah, I remember looking it up after this.
So, like,
this bellyacher complained about it. And he does have a name. That specific Balrog has a name. I just my quick Google search.
We also took. I'm pretty sure we talked about on air or not movie only. Or else, like, you open up a whole world of, like, literal gods.
Yeah. We had to do movies only because I've not read the books, so we had to do movies only.
Yeah. I could have taken Ungoliant, who eats light and creates an entire world of darkness, which seems like an interesting tactic for a football match.
It's only a matter of time before Pep Guardiola breaks that one out.
Turns out Pep Guardiola was Ungoliant, the light eater, the whole time. Oh, boy.
But anyway, speaking of surprises, Preston won this one. Preston got 38.5% of the vote, and then James and I both had 30.8. I feel like you won this purely on the Legolas pick. I have to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna win the Golden Boot in this 3-team league we're setting up here. So he's the Erling Haaland of this.
Very
league.
Different styles, though. He's gonna be more like Messi, you know.
I was picturing more like a Ronaldinho. Like, he doesn't just want to score, he wants to embarrass you. He wants to make you question why you continue to play this game.
I really like my team here. I think I still have a great shot, but yeah, I don't have anyone to match the single sort of skillful power of Legolas. So I can understand why I didn't win this one, but I still like my team. And James, I think James had not the best draft performance of the show this season, but just the best content performance of the season. I think pretty easily.
Yes,
I mean the Balrog and Shelob as his back lines, and then Shadowfax on the wing is just a special pick.
Unstoppable.
I think it's actually very stoppable, but just for pure content, tremendous. All right, next, we felt so bad about not getting Pat on. For that episode, we brought him on right away. We got him on as quickly as we could. We had him on for the best Dream City draft. Preston, listen. Preston, my parents are maybe your biggest supporters when it comes to this show. Yeah.
Wow.
They really just pretty much are always on your side. Well, at least my mom, I should say. But yeah, it's like you're her son, and that she doesn't know who I am even when it comes to drafted stuff. It's weird. But even my mom was like, "What the hell was he thinking with this draft?" So even your diehards were left to like question what happened with this episode.
Oh man!
Best Dream City. Preston had the Las Vegas casinos, Austin food. Pretty good so far there, Preston. But then you go Atlanta weather. Chicago sports I think is fine. Milwaukee Lake. And that's really the one where my mom just ripped into you. She's like, what? And my dad, like, what the hell? What was he talking about? Milwaukee Lake? What? And then San Francisco Transit to wrap it up. I had the New York City Public Transit System, San Diego weather, Honolulu beaches, Seattle sports, DC museums, and New Orleans food. Oh, that was another one. You and Pat try to make it out that like New Orleans isn't an elite tier food city somehow, and I think you guys really got a lot of flack for that. Which you know.
I will be there in 2 weeks, so I'll be able to judge for myself.
Have you never been? Holy shit!
No.
All right, well, enjoy New Orleans. I think you will learn what mistakes you have made. Pat went for Denver weather. There was a lot of debate about this in the Prentice household as well, of whether the Denver weather includes the thin air or not. That was hotly debated on the show, and I think we still have not come to any sort of consensus. But anyway, Pat gets Denver weather, Los Angeles food, Nashville music scene, Pittsburgh sports, Portland nature, and Philadelphia transit. And we didn't get a ton of response to this one, but Preston was shut out in the vote. And I had it in an absolute landslide.
Wow.
87.5% of the vote, and Pat a mere 12.5% of the vote. Preston with a big old goose egg there.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
that that's ever happened in the history of the show. I'd have to check.
I don't have a great defense for what I was thinking. I can't remember. I think I got so caught up in I want to have Atlanta Pride. I want to take Atlanta for something. And the problem is Atlanta is bad at all of the categories we chose. Which might mean it's not a good city.
No, Atlanta's cool. I assume
don't know that I want to
maybe probably took it for the second worst thing you possibly could have taken it for, behind transit.
You think sports would have been better?
Oh, yeah. Not even close. Oh, yeah.
Really? Oh, boy. Okay.
And you also took a third round for weather, which was just insane. And then you were just desperate for some sort of water, and somehow you went Milwaukee for it. I don't really know how that happened, but
I don't know. I don't know what happened. Listen, there's no excuse here. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
it must have been a bad day.
This is one where there's no use really in reviewing the tape. You just try to flush it. It wasn't your night. You just try to flush the performance and move on and be better the next day. That's all you really can do. Mm-hmm. That was a fun episode, though. That was a strong one for Pat to come on and just be very Pat-like. But what a dominant performance for me. I think I had the first pick. I think I took
well deserved.
Public Transit, New York City Public Transit, first overall. So maybe this one was just determined by having the first overall pick, but I feel like I did very, very well. I feel good about it.
I don't think that is a outsized first pick, but not in the way that we've seen in some other drafts. I think you were in this one.
That's fair. But yeah, getting Honolulu Beaches in the middle, third round, that was my pick. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I forgot that was in America. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, that's easy to forget. Really easy to forget.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, everybody.
All right, so next we had Best Dream House with friggin' Nerd Lee, this is a fantastic episode as well. I really, really love this one. Preston ended up with a pool with grotto, tennis court, a spa, but famously or infamously, no masseuse. He really got a lot of flack for that one in the Discord. Perhaps the most aggressive responses we've ever seen to a specific pick.
You just want a man? You just want a man just living in your home.
He doesn't have to live there.
He just comes over whenever you're at... No, absolutely not. The logistics of that are so dumb. No, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
Done.
Well,
no.
You got to...
I don't like people touching me.
Yeah, that was what we learned. That was the thing we learned in that episode. I feel like we learned something about Preston every episode. This episode, we learned that Preston doesn't like people touching him. After spa, he went with the Conversation Pit, which I think maybe didn't come across as well as you would have liked in the graphic, perhaps. But it's like a sunken down.
In the episode,
room.
I think I explained it well. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like we don't get that many people voting on the show that don't listen to the show. So, a stone, a big grand stone fireplace, and then a bunk bed room was Preston's final pick. I had a home theater, chef's kitchen, like a gorgeous, glorious sunroom, a secret room, a treehouse and an indoor basketball court, and then Lee had a barcade, a library, a secret garden, which I think was one of the coolest picks that we've ever had, or at least this season. A rooftop hot tub, a craft room, and a 360-degree aquarium. Oh yeah, we also learned that you don't like aquariums or something. Didn't we learn that about this episode? You hate aquariums or something?
No, I like aquariums. It's that I don't understand.
Oh, that's right.
And nobody ever reached out to me to help. No, that's not true, actually. We did have people in the Discord explain this to me, and it helped a little. Their efforts were not in vain. It helped a little. I still am a little confused as to how all the different fish who usually eat each other can live in the same habitat without them eating each other.
Yeah, I think the thing that you kind of lost in that was like fish are around each other all the time without eating each other. They're not just constantly eating, you know.
Well, they need to eat.
They do need to eat, but you know they don't eat all the time. It's not like a constant eating.
How do you feed the fish at individual times? Because sharks don't eat the same thing that the little
I don't think we need to go back down this path. I feel like.
Okay, I'm just saying I haven't gotten a good answer yet.
I feel like you were given.
I'm just saying maybe this is one of those times where it goes all the way to the top.
You were given good answers and just refused to accept them as good answers.
Well, that is my job as a political consultant.
Yeah. So I listen. I don't know if it was because of the aquarium thing that you got no votes, but this was back-to-back drafts where you didn't get any votes here.
Absolute goose. All right. Well, I haven't voted Kaz myself because that's a shame. That's not as bad of a performance as the other.
No. Yeah, you deserved probably you deserved a vote for this. Oh my goodness, we've just had a vote come in here right at the last, and it's for Preston. Not back to back goose egg for Preston. His dream house does get a vote. I took this one. I had 57.1% of the vote. Lee took 35.7%. And then Preston with this last second vote here, which could have been from anyone, 7.1% of the vote. I'm a little surprised Lee didn't do a little bit stronger here because I feel like the friggin' nerds often have the friggin' nerd army backing them with their votes here, but proved not to be the case this time around.
Well, Lee did such a good job helping us through our picks on this episode. We would take something and she would explain why it was cool.
Yeah, she did do a lot of alley-ooping.
Like your treehouse.
I alley-ooped her back when she took the aquarium, and then I said, or not the aquarium, but the hot tub, and she's like, I don't know where to put that. I was like, put it on the roof. You know, and that I think you were a little mad at me about that.
Huge alley-oop
that I did that.
It was a massive assist. Massive assist. You pulled the keeper all the way out and then just did a one tap over.
Yeah. Okay, so looking back, either you or me have at least had a share of the victory in every vote so far, Preston.
Wowzers!
Oh, I missed the whole show.
I was gonna bring it up later.
Oh goodness gracious! I missed the second episode of the season.
I saw you miss it. I was gonna wait until the end and embarrass you.
I've caught it now. Yeah, I missed. I feel like I always do this. I always miss one. And I have them all pulled up. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how I skipped past this one. But yeah, our second draft was not the draft with Sue, but in fact the best day at the beach with Kelsey. But, Preston, you might have been better off not reminding me of this one.
Yeah, I was sort of wanting to forget this one.
Yeah,
actually.
This one was traumatic, I think, for a lot of people because Kelsey really turned on you in this episode. Kelsey, more than anyone, has been a long-standing ally for you. Against me. When Kelsey comes on, it's usually you two teaming up and just going to town on every little thing I say. But your performance was such that Kelsey actually flipped sides here and really just tore into you. Best at the beach. Preston went with this was this is one of the ones where you had 3 options for 6 categories, and we had to work from those. Mm-hmm. So Preston had the Florida Gulf, pretzels and Gatorade as his snacks. Umbrella and sun shirt as a sun protection. Bocce balls as his entertainment. Towels? Were you the only person that got towels? I don't remember that. Oh.
It was like the shelter.
Yes.
That's right. Your station.
Yeah. So you were just chilling on towels on the beach. And then your other entertainment wildcard thing was nothing but the isolating reality of his own thoughts and fears.
Yeah. That's a tough one. That's one I don't do so well with, actually.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I think other people are more equipped to handle that.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Not one of your, go-tos.
Go-tos? Yeah. No.
So that was Preston's team. I had Fiji as my location, wind shade and sunscreen as my sun protection, beach chairs, fishing pole, sandcastle kit, and 1 case of water as my lone nourishment. And then Kelsey had a cabana, cold drinks and sandwiches. Pretty good there. A Frisbee, a kite, a comically large umbrella hat as sun protection, and then location Wildwood, New Jersey. And yeah, you were blanked in this one, Preston. I took 62.5% of the vote. Kelsey, 37.5%. Preston, a cool, crisp 0% of the vote.
The old 0-calorie vote. I still maintain that people who fish on the beach are annoying.
Yeah, but it's not about other people.
One of my takeaways from
it's not about other people. It's like for my enjoyment.
Well, listen, says you, but okay.
Listen, you're the one who was whacking other kids in the head with frisbees when you're on the beach, right? I would say that's far more invasive than someone fishing.
Yeah, I had that poor 2-year-old.
That was another one that really resonated with my parents because we went to the beach as a family in August. That was one of the reasons that I was gone for one of the weeks that I was gone. And that we went to the beach. It was like a beach trip, and that one was brought up a lot. The whole hitting children with
everyone
frisbees.
saying like don't pull up Preston.
Yeah,
cool.
So that one,
cool. Thank you, Princess Family.
Yeah, so that one now locked into the drafted lore, I would say.
Okay.
Okay, this one very limited response. So I take it for what you will. For the winning vote here. But next one, we finally got Keith Rayner on for the season. This was one of our weirder drafts. I don't know that we'll replicate a format quite like this. It was the best video game adaptation, where we took a video game franchise, and then we decided we were going to convert it to a movie. And the way we did that was, it was like you drafted a video game, a director, and 4 actors, I think, right, to like star in it. Was the format we went with?
Yep.
Preston went with BioShock. He snagged Christopher Nolan as director, and then he had Aaron Eckhart, Michael Fassbender, John Hamm, and Thomasin McKenzie as his stars of the film. I went with Dark Souls. I had Guillermo del Toro as my director, Willem Dafoe, Gary Oldman, Bill Skarsgård, and Saoirse Ronan as my stars in the film. And then Keith went Mass Effect. This was out of order, but Ryan Coogler was his last pick, but that was his director. Michael B. Jordan, Brie Larson, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Carl Urban as his actors. Preston, did you vote in this one?
I have not.
Oh. Okay, well, listen, like I said, very limited responses here, but I had 50% of the vote, Keith 25%, and Preston 25%, but that is of 4 votes. So if you wanted to vote for yourself or for Keith here, you could make it a tie for the win.
I mean, I certainly like myself the best. This doesn't seem particularly fair. I do think the BioShock from Christopher Nolan would sell more tickets than all of the other pitches that I think you guys had put together.
That was never the measurement, though. But you're probably right about that.
Well, it's going to be mine. It's going to be mine today. So I'm going to submit for myself.
He is okay. So he no votes yet. No new votes in yet. But yeah. Oh, it just come in. It's just come in here. It's now a tie between Preston and myself. This was one that I think a lot of people had a hard time like connecting with. Because I think a lot of our listeners like hadn't played these games, and it was such a kind of like obscure kind of thing that we were like even trying to create that like had people had a hard time visualizing. Yeah. I think, especially if they hadn't played the game. So yeah, this it was still fun to do, and I always like having Keith on. But yeah, it felt a little narrow cast, and one that I think if I was doing the season over from scratch would try to come up with a different draft to do with Keith here. But
listen, dear listener. It's on you to give us ideas. That's not true. But
not true at all.
Helps out.
No, this was one that Keith wanted to do. And, we try to make our guests happy. But basically what I'm saying is, fuck you, Keith. We'll never do that draft again. And I'm glad that you finished dead last.
Oh.
Next. And this one I am a little surprised by. But our penultimate draft, we had Mario on, Friggander and Mario, to draft the best video TV theme songs. Preston had The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Full House, SpongeBob SquarePants, Game of Thrones, Scooby-Doo, Monday Night Football. I had Pokemon, Golden Girls, Ted Lasso, Arthur, Attack on Titan, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and Mario had Friends, Big Bang Theory, Transformers, Power Rangers, Digimon, the Japanese one. That was a deep pull for Mario, and Reading Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
Again, maybe
the deepest pull we've ever had on this show, actually.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. He was really relying on people to go listen to it, and apparently they did not. No one voted for Mario. 3 votes for Preston and 1 vote for myself. I really am surprised with this because I feel like I absolutely fucking smashed this draft. And Preston had some ones on there like would be just kind of tough listens, namely the SpongeBob SquarePants theme. So I was surprised that you took this one, Preston, I have to say.
The top pick is so strong. I think if you asked 100 people what their favorite theme song was, you'd get 75 people saying The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I just think that's not correct, but 75% of the people who voted anyway, that was correct for them.
Yeah, what do you have to say about it then, Mr. Second
Listen,
place?
The numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. But you know what I say?
I'm going to vote for myself on this one too, just to run up the score.
Wow,
baby.
So you haven't even voted for yourself yet on this one?
Nope.
Wow, so now it's a whopping 80% dominant performance from Preston here. Dominant performance. 80% of the vote. That's the best he's ever done in the draft.
That's true.
I don't even check the facts on that one. I don't even check the numbers. It's also another win for the Drafted Boys, most importantly. No matter how you slice it, we blanked Mario. He did not get a vote. Next up, we had... And finally, this is the final draft of the season. We had friggin' nerd Mike on to draft the best college semester from like a wacky list of wacky college courses, like real college courses that you could take. Mike, so good as always. Also, I should revisit the last episode. Really, I think nice to quash the beef with friggin' nerd Mario.
Yeah, it's good to get that out of the way.
You kind of kept it trying, like you kept trying to. You try to keep it going. I was able to like build that bridge and get over it with Mario. And I think that's nice. It's
I've got some growing up to do, I think.
Yeah, a lot of maturing. A lot of introspection.
I do think on the maturing front, this show is actively holding me back. So.
Yeah, that's almost certainly true. Almost certainly true. We did close it out with Mike, though, as I said, with a very fun draft of the college courses. And Preston did an awesome job with the graphic. If you've not seen the graphic, you just go to all of the graphics are in the Google Forms where the polls are. Check out the best day at the beach because you see baby photos at the beach of Preston, myself, and Kelsey, which are all tremendous. Mm-hmm. The soccer one was very good, and also this one here because Preston made like a full listed out course schedule for each of us with advisor notes as well. I'm not going to spoil the advisor notes. I'm going to make you go look at them.
Oh, those are my favorite.
Okay. Do you want me
to make sure everybody goes to look? Yeah, I want you to read them.
I'll read them then. I'll read them because no one's going to go look. I know. Even though I wish they would. So Preston had Surviving the Coming Zombie Apocalypse, Japanese Swordsmanship, The Sociology of Miley Cyrus, The Hunger Games, Class Politics and Marketing, Queen Bees, Wannabes, and Mean Girls, and The Evolution of Taylor Swift. And advisor notes, a remarkably bleak outlook on the world. With so much doomsday prepping, I'm left wondering what Preston knows that I don't. Then we had my course schedule. I had a beekeeping apprenticeship, surfing, wasting time on the internet, the study of K-pop, rockets and instrumentation, and tree climbing. Advisor notes, easily the best student I have ever seen in the wasting time on the internet seminar. Frankly, I have become the student. Oh, that's nice. I actually had not read that one myself. Then we have Mike's course schedule. He's got Harry Potter, Literary Tradition and Popular Culture, Game of Thrones, Contemporary Medievalism, Basic Scuba, Dealing Tactfully with Difficult People. And Preston, I have to, I didn't catch this when we uploaded, but I have to catch you in an error here, because I don't believe it was a Papa John's apprenticeship. I believe it was a Pizza Hut apprenticeship.
Was it a Pizza Hut one?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
that makes it worse, actually.
I agree. I do agree.
Oh, no.
And then From Cow to Cone, The Making of Ice Cream, which we learned Ben & Jerry's took themselves and was what spurred them to create Ben & Jerry's ice cream, which is pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. And then advisor notes, excellent knowledge of relevant literature, appears easily distracted by the prospect of eating free pizza and ice cream. I think that's pretty fair for all of us, not just Mike. This was the one that I voted for not for myself on in the poll. I cast my vote for Preston, but it was not enough. I took 50% of the vote. Preston had 33.3% of the vote, and Mike had 16.7% of the vote. So I won that one. Let's see. Okay. So Preston won episode 1. Oh wait, no. Did I? Oh no. Okay. I've exited out of some of these on accident. So that's not true. Preston won episode 3, which is not helpful now. I have these out of order. I think the Sue. This is all horrible. The Sue one was second. Kelsey's was third. Okay, so I accidentally exited out of the first one we did, which was the casting of Knives Out. I won that one. Preston won episode 2, the sports bucket list. I won episode 3, the day at the beach. I won episode 4, the lunch. Preston and I, no, Jose and I tied for the 80s movies on a plane. Preston won soccer. I won in a landslide, I might add, Dream City. I won Dream House. Preston and I tied for video game adaptation. Preston won TV theme playlist, and then I won. Oh my gosh! There's been a late vote here. Oh,
did something happen? Oh no! What could have happened?
There has been a last-second vote here for Preston. It's so weird how many of these last-minute votes have come in for Preston. We're going to have people accusing us of conspiracy here. No. But now all of a sudden we have a tie in the semester draft, which feels a little callous, considering I admitted that I've cast my vote for you in this one.
Yeah, so it sort of seems like you should just give me the outright win here.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
You're voting for me. Well, of the 2 people that are tied, 2 of them are voting for Preston, so seems like maybe we could just.
So what I'm hearing is then I got 3 votes from listeners and you got 1 vote from listeners.
Yeah, but hey, listen, we don't operate on some sort of electoral college system. This is how it goes.
All right, well, it officially ends in a tie for you and myself. But yet again, it is a win for the drafted boys. We clean sweep, Preston. We didn't lose a draft.
God.
The guests did not win a single draft this season. I can't believe this. I'm shocked.
I never thought I'd see the day.
I certainly didn't either. Which episode are you most surprised that the guest didn't win?
Kind of. I mean, all the friggin' nerds, they seem to bring their audience with them when they come on. So that always sort of surprises me. I think Lee had a pretty good performance on the Dreamhouse.
That might be the most surprising one for me as well. I also think there's a decent chance that. Well, I don't know. I think all of our 80s movies for a flight is really strong. So I won't say. I was going to say that maybe if more people voted that Jose would have won outright in the 80s movies draft, but I don't know. I think we all had really strong teams there, and any of us could have won with a bigger voting sample. Yeah, I think Lee's Dreamhouse was really good. But I'm not seeing an obvious one where maybe our drafts were just a little too obscure this year, where it was hard for our guests to just kind of zero in on a great draft strategy. I'm not sure, but we will certainly take it as just a dominating performance by the drafted boys. Clearly it's the first time we've ever dominated, but I think it's the first time we've ever won more drafts than we've not won. Let alone
it makes me feel like we're doing the show wrong now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we got to get back to our roots.
We need better guests, different guests.
We need better. You're
celebrity guests.
You're blaming the guests?
Yes.
You're throwing the guests under the table?
They're not bringing their A game. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of complacency here. There used to be a competition to be on the show.
Yeah, they just expect to come on the show.
It used to be everybody wants to be on the show, and now we got a regular standard crew, and I'm not sure it's working out for us. Maybe we need to shake it up. Have some Congress people on.
You hear that? You hear that? Draft the guests. You're all on the chopping block.
You're on the hot seat.
Yep. Nothing is granted here. Do not take anything for granted.
Until it's Saturday at 10 o'clock at night.
And we does prefer guests
still
to come on,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, then please be available.
We also didn't get some really strong guests on this season that we will really try our best to get on next season. But no, thanks so much to all of our guests. They were all fantastic. This is a super fun season to do. I'm sorry we didn't get to do more episodes. We will do better next year. But yeah, we teased this a little bit in the Discord when I posted the call for, last call for votes. We had a Doob Daubers in Discord who said, I don't want to unduly influence any other stragglers, but I think you drafted boys did pretty good this season. None of the guests won my vote this season. And then I said, wow, a true first. He said, I know, I was shocked, TBH. Who would have thought? I think Preston undermines his own picks sometimes in the episode, but looking back on paper, some strong drafts from the boys.
Can't give a compliment without just a little bit of
I know.
bit of
it's always backhanded for Preston.
Fun. Yeah, just a little bit.
It's true though. You do undermine your own picks. I think more so than you having like wacky picks, which you do more than anyone else on the show. I think you just aren't as creative in defending them as I am, which I think maybe makes people feel like they're worse than they really are. If you came in hot and had like a good defense of your kind of out there picks, I think people would be a little more on board with them.
All right, the Christmas episode this year, I'm coming in hot. I am not bringing the Christmas spirit. I'm going to defend whatever the hell we're doing to the death.
I love that. That's what I want to hear. That's exactly what I want to hear. But yeah, we will be back next season. That's the plan anyway. I mean, things can always change. But yeah, with bi-weekly episodes rather than trying to get weekly. I think ironically that will actually help us get out more episodes. Because there have definitely been a few times where we missed back-to-back weeks. But if we have the mindset of 2 weeks per episode, where you have a 2-week stretch to get the episode in somewhere, I think we'll be able to do a better job of getting them out. And maybe some extra content for Patreon. I don't know. We'll have to think about that because we definitely. I don't know that we added any new Patreon subscribers this year, despite all the new Patreon content we put out. So if you guys have any ideas for things that would sway you to becoming a patron, please let us know, because that's ultimately what it's all about. We do the quarterly discount codes for merch over there, and every single episode we've given you a bonus content. So thanks to everyone who supported us on Patreon this year. We will pause the payments on those for the off season. We're not putting out episodes. We won't charge you when we're not giving you stuff to do. So if you want to hop on and just get in there and not pay a dime because it doesn't charge you like when we have the things paused, and just get that discount code, you could do it. It would be unethical.
Not saying it's not possible.
It would be unethical, but
it's against our terms of service that we haven't written down yet.
Yeah. But you could do it. You could do that.
You could do it.
And remember
just like how Daniel can play Pokemon Silver on the computer without having the actual cartridge. You can.
Hey, I have the cartridge. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that actually is a good segue. I will still be streaming all the time, so come hang out with me on stream. Would love to have more of you guys hang out with me on Twitch. I'm DAP_sauce over there. I believe Preston will still be doing the Georgia Politics podcast, as he is every other week. So if you love the Drafted Boys, even if you don't want to, throw a little Patreon money our way or buy some merch, you could still support our other creative endeavors. Would be super cool of you guys. But mostly, just thanks for listening to us for 4 whole seasons of the show. That's pretty fucking wild.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, everybody. I still maintain that I would do the show if nobody listened. It would be weird.
It would be weird.
I'd wonder what was going on, but I would still show up right on time. I say I was late today. I would still show up at a time to record.
At a time.
At a time.
He wasn't that late. It was just a few minutes. And it was like his own... He set the time and was like 5 minutes late or something. I don't know. He was totally fine. But yeah, what was the thing that you wanted me to say as our conclusion to the episode?
Shit, that's right.
We never really came to a good one. It was
go get in a fight with somebody you love.
Go have a violent argument with someone you care about. And
no, that's your interpretation. What about go disagree with somebody you love? Go argue with somebody you love.
It's a lot, you know what I mean? It's just a mouthful.
Right,
we'll brain shop. We'll brain shop that. Okay, we'll think of something. We'll think of something. We'll condense it down to like a good conclusion. And we will be back for the holiday specials. We're going to have a great guest on for October. We'll think of something to do for the draft. And then Christmas. Maybe we'll do a fall, too, if we can think of something that we can do, for Thanksgiving. But I feel like there's not a whole lot to go do with Thanksgiving. I feel like we've kind of done all of it. But who knows? Yeah. Maybe we'll think of something.
I still maintain we could draft real life people in order of how much we like them for the Thanksgiving show. And then play it live over Thanksgiving dinner.
Wow. That could only go well for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, most importantly, thank you all so much for tuning in all season long. Season 4 drafted. We can't wait for Season 5. I hope you guys feel the same way. Buy that drafted merch. All right, I spent a lot of time designing it. Get it for the fall. That crisp autumn air. Okay, it's coming. Hopefully. Please, God, please. It's been like in the 90s here in North Carolina still, and I need to be fall. But yeah, Preston, it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. Thanks for doing this podcast with me still. And listeners, we will talk to you all next time.
What if we just did a love you presto, love you printo?
And just leave the guest out in the cold?
Oh, shit, you're right. I forget there's other people on the show.
And the third person's like awkwardly like, do I say something here?